Hi friends, let us know about small stories from the Osho. Osho shared profound and often poetic stories about Lao Tzu, Buddha, Zarathustra, and Ashtavakra, each illuminating their radical wisdom and inner revolution. These stories are not historical retelling but spiritual interpretation meant to awaken insight. Buddha, the silence and emptiness. Zarathustra, laughing prophet. Ashtavakra, the radical seed. So let's go to the topic of our small stories from the Osho. It is said that Buddha was born standing up. His mother was standing under a tree. She gave birth standing, and he was born standing up. He did not fall to the ground, but started walking. He took 7 paces, and on the 8th he stopped and proclaimed the Four Noble Truths. The life is suffering. He took just 7 steps on earth and proclaimed that life is suffering. That it is possible to be free from suffering. That there is a way to become free of suffering. That there is a state free of suffering, the state of nirvana. About Lao Tzu, the story is that he was born old. He was born 80 years old, that he remained in the womb 80 years, since he had no desire to do anything. He had no desire to leave the womb, since he had no wants. He did not want to come into the world either. When he was born, he had white hair, an old man of 80 years. Zarathustra's story is that he burst out of laughing as soon as he was born. But Ashtavakra has defeated them all. These are all events in afterbirth. Ashtavakra made his full statements before he was even born. These stories are significant. These stories contain the essence, the essential treasure of the life of these masters. Buddha's story contains the essence of what he taught his whole life. Buddha, the Eightfold Path. So he took 7 steps and stopped on the 8th. There are 8 parts in all. The last step is that of right samadhi. And only in that state of samadhi is the whole truth of life known. So he proclaimed the Four Noble Truths. Lao Tzu was born old. People live 80 years, still they don't have the understanding Lao Tzu had at birth. Do you see people becoming intelligent just by getting old? Getting old and becoming intelligent are not synonymous. At a ripe old age, even hair can ripen to pure white. Lao Tzu's story simply says that if there is urgency, intensity in one's life, then what might take 80 years can happen in one moment. If one's understanding is intense, it can happen in one moment, and without pure intelligence, it does not happen even in 80 years. Zarathustra laughed right at birth. Zarathustra's religion is the only religion in the world that can be called a laughing religion. Very earthy, a religion of the earth. That's why people of other religions don't see Parsis as being religious. They see them dancing, singing, happy. Zarathustra's religion is a laughing religion, a life-affirming religion, not life negative. There is no place for renunciation in it. Have you ever seen a Parsi sadhu? Stark naked, having renounced all, standing in the hot sun, sitting facing a fire like a Hindu sannyasi? No. The Parsi religion has no interest in torturing and causing trouble to the body. Zarathustra's whole message is this: if you can realize godliness through laughing, then why realizing it through crying? When you can reach to the temple dancing, why unnecessarily sow thorns on your path? When you can go with the flowers, then why flow waves of pain and misery? It is right. The legend is right that at birth Zarathustra was laughing. Don't look for historical facts in these stories. It is not that they happened this way, but there is a very profound meaning in these stories. So, my dear friends, Buddha's Lao Tzu, whatever we know, what he is teaching. Lao Tzu is described as the most natural and mysterious master, one who never taught but simply was. Osho tells of Lao Tzu departure from China, where he was stopped from a god who asked him to write down his wisdom before leaving, that becoming the Tao Te Ching. Osho emphasized Lao Tzu teaching, don't interfere, let things be. He calls Lao Tzu master of effortless action, Wu Wei, whose wisdom flows like water, soft yet powerful. So Buddha's silence of emptiness from Dhammapada, the way of the Buddha. Osho recounts how Buddha sat silently under a Bodhi tree, and his silence transformed the world. He shares a story where Buddha remained silent, and when asked metaphysical questions, when pressed, he said, I am not here to answer your curiosity. I am here to end your suffering. Osho praises Buddha's scientific clarity, his rejection of rituals, and his path of mindfulness and meditation. He often contrasts Buddha's silence with Mahavira's austerity, showing Buddha's middle path as most balanced. About Zarathustra, the laughing prophet, Osho on Zarathustra, from Zarathustra, a god that can dance. Osho calls Zarathustra the first dancing god, a prophet who celebrates life rather than renounce it. He tells how Zarathustra left his home at 20, seeking truth through experience rather than tradition. Zarathustra's teaching of good thoughts, good words, good deeds is praised as a practical spirituality. Again, I will tell you, Zarathustra's teaching of good thoughts, good words, good deeds is praised as a practical spirituality. Osho emphasized the Zarathustra's joyful rebellion against priesthood and his vision of cosmic yes to life. Ashtavakra, the radical seed, Osho and Ashtavakra, the enlightenment, the only revolution. Osho shares a striking story of Ashtavakra still in the womb, interrupted his father's Vedic chanting, saying, "Stop it, this is nonsense. Wisdom is not in words, it is within." His father enraged cursed him, hence Ashtavakra's bent body. Asta means 8, Vakra means bends. Osho calls Ashtavakra's teaching the purest Advaita, non-duality, beyond intellect and tradition. He praises the Ashtavakra Gita as the ultimate scripture of transcendence, where even meditation is transcendented. So, my friends, these are not men of study. They are explosions of consciousness. Lao Tzu never taught, he simply was, his silence was his sermon. We weigh effortless action, Buddha's silence of awakening. Buddha's silence was a thunder. He answered not with words but with presence. Dhamma, the path of mindfulness. The laughing prophet Zarathustra. Zarathustra danced, he laughed, he said yes to life. Good thoughts, words, deeds. Ashtavakra, the bent body, straight wisdom. Yogic, still heart, surrendered by way of light. Cursed bent in body, but his wisdom was straight as light. Advaita, beyond duality. The 4 lights merge into one light. These sages are not separate, they are 4 faces of the same truth. Thank you. If this video please share this to all like-minded people. Thank you, masters. Have a nice day. Thank you.